Pottery peeps. So today we're going to make witches. Now I already have a witch tutorial on here. So this is Witches 2.0 and it's an easier way to make them than the one that I did before. I will post that link to that video in the description in case you want to get some ideas from it. It's still full of ideas. It's just a different way of doing them. Anyway, I'm kind of calling these my carrot coil witches, which I think would work great for gnomes, warlocks, wizards, that kind of thing too. So, also update, I got the shots in my neck. It's been about 10 days. Some of the headaches are getting better. I still get the occasional migraine, like loading the kiln, I got one. And they've got me, I've seen this specialist. Apparently my concussion was never really addressed either, and my brain is trying to forge new pathways. So we got a medication to help with that. And then there's some other things that we can do if these shots don't work out. So I'm just kind of, you know, doing what they telling me to do. But I still don't last much in the studio, about 30-45 minutes, and then I've got to stop, otherwise I'll get a really bad headache. So anyway, that's where I'm at, pretty much nowhere right now. They say that the shots can take up to 2 weeks to work. I think they're starting to work because the headaches aren't as bad. I don't know, we'll see. Stay hopeful, right? Anyway, so let me go ahead and lower you down now that you're all caught up with me. Okay, so basically I'm starting out with a coil, and I want to make this coil into a carrot shape, and it doesn't have to be a pretty coil. I just want it to probably have too much clay here. So, and I tend to always go square with my coils, so sometimes it's easier to start your coil off in a carrot. Once I get the top of it going, then the rest of it just kind of follows. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't have to look pretty, right? It doesn't even have to be circular. But what I'm gonna do, this is bee mixed with speckle, but now I am going to, I had a hole there, so we're just making it look pretty. Kind of round that off in my hands a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up. Where is my pencil doohickey? There it is. Okay, sorry. So I have this wooden pencil tool. A pencil would work, and I am gonna open up this carrot, try to kind of keep it straight so it's going up the carrot, and then I'm gonna roll it out some more. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna open up that for me, and then I'm just going to increase. I have all these different size dowels. Oh, actually, I even have this. This is on my Amazon store. I will link that in the, because I used this tool actually on the first witches too. So basically, to help, I need it to be open enough to where she's going to stand up, you know? So now we're just going to pinch pot it. I'm just opening it. Also, by opening this up, it allows it to dry faster, you know, because it's not so thick. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and take care of some of the cracking. I know that this bee mixed with speck, the speck acts kind of like a grog, and so when I'm hand building things like this, sometimes I'll get more cracking. So basically I just want to open this up some more, make sure my walls are kind of even, but I also need to keep clay down here, so I don't want to open it up too much that I don't have enough clay. So right now I'm just kind of forming that because this is going to be my dress. So I'm just forming the dress. And cleaning up as I go. I'm not really worried if, I mean, this is kind of more of a nature witch, organic witch. So if I get pieces that crack or tear, I'm kind of into it. All right, so I basically just want to be able to have that stand up and be stable. So you can spend as much time on this as you want, but we're going to go ahead and go forward. This is going to be our hat. So I want more of a pointy hat. So I am just going to pull this. And I like them, for me personally, I like them to kind of curl. We're not making scary witches here. We're making your next door neighbor witch, you know? And then I will just take this and coax it, and then I will curl it like that. All right, so next we're gonna want to do, actually, do we want to do the hat? I can't remember if I did. No, I think I did the face first. Yes, I think I did the face. So let's do the face. It's been a couple, actually I think it's been a month since I made this one. And so when I make a face, and I'm not like putting features on this face, but I want kind of more of an oval. So I'm just going to manipulate it, more of a pointy chin, kind of, you know. And I just leave them smooth, but I do like the pointy chin. So I'm going to go ahead and score that on. So I think I think that's good for the face. Yeah, slippery. So get her face on right. And sometimes it helps to, it's not actually up that high, so it's all right. So I'm just going to blend her face in. A lot of it will end up being covered by her hair. But I still can't help myself with the blending in bits. And where is, I can't find anything. There we go. And then I will just blend all those marks, round her chin off a little bit more. Okay. All right, so we have her face on. We have her hat twirled. So let's make some hair. This one I did by just doing individual coils and putting them on. But I am going to do this one different. If you want to see how I've done coils, I did them on a gnome back a little while ago. May? the girl gnomes is the one that I did the coils on, so you can look back through that. So this NKM roller is number 12, but I really like this design, especially for hair. And I'll show you what I mean. Actually, we're going to add some more on those parts that didn't get rolled. Okay, so now I am going to, nope, wrong one. It's supposed to be in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out, because to me they look like locks of hair. See? So that's what I am going to do. I'm just going to cut around a bunch of them and get a whole bunch of hair ready to go. And so let's see, now we're just going to do her hair up. I'm going to start with her side maybe. I don't know, it's just kind of cool how this, let me see if I can move you so you can see better what I'm doing. You can see better what I'm doing. And I am not worried about scoring and slipping all of this, you know, because I'm going to blend it in also. Let's save some of the longer ones for the back. And I just, that part that I cut off, I kind of give it a little twirl at the end. Let's do this one. Twirl it the other direction. So let's see, let's do that the other way. All right, so now that we've got her hair, I'm going to blend it into the hat carefully. A little bit more adjustment on the hair. I also have to be aware that these, I want them to have the stability of not getting broken off too easy, so having them touch in with the other hair is a good idea. All right, so now let's go ahead and, you can do this two ways. You could cut a circle and then cut the circle out and then just place it over, or you can just do a coil. Depends on how organic looking you want the rim of your hat to be. Whoops. as you can see, I'm going to do a coil. All right. Maybe. So I need to bring that in. I'm going to cut it here in the back at an angle. And then join it, maybe. But like I said, you could also do this with rolling out a flat cookie cutter and then cutting out the middle, making a donut. All right, so now, and I don't slip and score this either because I am going to be blending that into her hat. So I'm pushing all the clay toward the hat, kind of like this. And then I'll take this little tool and really push it up into the, basically, top of our carrot. Get my fingers wet a little bit. Just to help with smoothing all that out. Okay, now what I want to do here is carefully pull up and pinch it so that I get a nice brim for my witch hat. And like I said, if you don't want the organic look, just cut it out with a cookie cutter, because this isn't going to be perfectly round. But I kind of like that. You know, witches' hats, they keep them for a long time. They see some wear and tear. You know, they've been through a bit. So now it's just a matter of smoothing it. And then we'll take a look at her and figure out where we really want this hat to be. Actually going to pull it out some more. Give her more of a brim. Oops, that's, all right, hold on a second. That's my timer for the preheating of the kiln. You can see I split it there. So we're just going to add a little bit extra clay right there. And blend it in. I'm dealing with clay that's right out of the bag, so it's pretty sticky. And when I'm sculpting, which is kind of what I'm doing here, I like the clay to be pretty soft. All right. I'm gonna bring her over here so we can take a look at her. All right, so I like the brim to come down. And sometimes when you push it down, you gotta smooth it back in. And I like it to be kind of jaunty. Actually, let's do more like that. Like that. I'm gonna have to clean this up just a little bit more. It's a little too sticky. It's showing all my marks. So now it's just a matter of how you want to decorate your witch. You can pretty much leave her like this. You can add arms. You could add, like I added arms. She's holding a pumpkin. She also has an owl on her dress. And you know what? I need not that one. Possibly this one. Okay, I'm gonna leave the hat alone for a little bit because it's pretty wet with everything that I've been doing to it. So we're gonna leave that alone for fact. Need to. The hat looks kind of funny. It's not centered over here. So let's pull this guy out just a bit. We'll fix that, hopefully. Actually, I'm just gonna do this. It's kind of trial and error when you're doing these. Yeah, so we'll leave that for a bit. And I'm actually just gonna work on her dress. So one of the things that I liked that I did on this one was put some coils down there. It kind of just looks like folds of a gown, you know? And the way that I did that was to do a thinner coil. And then I'm going to dip that in the water. And then it's just a matter of designing the folds of your dress, you know? I kind of like, you know, like with Stevie Nicks, she's got all these different layers of fabric on her, you know, scarves, whatever. And I'm thinking that is the kind of witch we have here. Let's see. Okay, and so then on these, what you want to do is you want to come in with this tool. You want to blend them in to the dress. Didn't do this on the other one, but it might be kind of cool to, let's see if we can, actually let's ruffle her dress. And maybe ruffle these guys up a little bit. Give them some movement. You know me, especially when you're doing stuff like this. I like things to have movement and kind of come alive. I don't know if I'll like this, but we'll see. Haven't done one this way yet, so. All right. Okay, let's give her some arms. And then when doing arms, I don't like to do arms because they actually, I wonder, instead of doing arms, if I do sleeves. Let's try it out. So, let's cut a sleeve, and I kind of want like a handkerchief sleeve. So let's see here. Gonna make sure they're not too long. That's too long. So now we're gonna cut. I just kind of, you know, make up my pattern as I go. I already know that this is, so let's come up here. All right, remember, left and right. If you've watched my Santa Clauses, this is somewhat kind of like what I do, somewhat. So I want these to be more maybe belled. I don't know, let's see here. Actually think they're too big. So I'm going to cut them down a bit. So we did a sleeve here. We did one up here. I want to curve them a little bit more because I want her to look like she's holding something. Which means we're going to have to do hands now. Always make it so much more difficult than it needs to be. I don't know if I can do hands. Let's see. All right, so these are my mini cutters, and I do believe that they are also on my Amazon store. A little bit more ruffle there. Clay's kind of soft for this. All right, so I'm going to cut out my smallest circle. I haven't done these kind of hands for witches. I don't know if they're going to look right because the only hands I know how to do are the gloved hands. So, I don't know. But basically, I take them, I put that cut for the thumb in the wrong place, but basically kind of make this really sad looking claw. I don't know if this will work or look too funny. Because basically I just want them peeking. And then just blend them into the back. And just go ahead and just set this on and see what they look like. And she's still pretty wet, so I'm not going to score to the body. I'm just gonna place her huge hands on this. And then carefully blend, carefully, because I don't even have a place to hold her. But come in here and then smooth that into her dress too. I do like the bell sleeves though, because they're somewhat witchy. We'll clean that up with the brush. All right, this is turning, I thought I could do this pretty fast, but I think I'm over my 30 minutes. I can usually tell with how bad the headache starts to get. It's like better than a timer, but we got to get to where I'm out here longer than 30 minutes at a time. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna probably spend a lot of time cleaning up, but I wonder if we can't give her sleeve just a little bit of a movement too. Just a little bit. That's kind of cute. So let's give her something fun to hold. And I am just going to make her a pumpkin. Mainly because I don't like our hands are... We're just going to cover those hands up. All right, so making a size appropriate, maybe a little bit bigger actually, so we can cover more of her hands. And then to make a little pumpkin, it's just a ball with lines in it. Okay. I'm going to take this tool. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to take a popsicle stick and start in the middle, go all the way around, and do that 4 times. And you will have a pretty decent looking pumpkin. By doing that, I'm going to actually push down the top and make a little baby coil for the stem. Let's see. Just gonna dab that into some water, push that in, and then curl this top. All right. Somehow we need to create somewhat of a ledge for this pumpkin. We just covered up our pretty sleeves and our pretty hands. But this way it looks like she's holding it. There, cute. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is address her hat again. Actually, let's dress her hair came up with the putting on the sleeves. All right, what else she need? She needs some flowers. So let's do, actually, I have this other MKM flower stamp, and it's an 08. I really like it. So we're gonna give her a flower. Actually, put some cornstarch on this. See how pretty this flower is? And then I just cut around this flower. I'm going to put some leaves down too. Ladybug would be cute too. But we'll try not to go crazy since we have the art festival coming up this weekend and trying to get everything finished and glazed. And the more stuff I put on these guys, the more they need, more time they need glazed. And then this is just a leaf cutter that I've had forever. I do think it's on my Amazon store too. Let's do 3. So I'm just going to make these leaves. And by just drawing a line down, give them veins. I have leaves too that you can do textured with, but sometimes I just like, especially the small ones, I like to draw them in. Kind of do flatten out the edges a little bit. This one I did a very poor job on, but it'll still work. All right, where'd my flower go? So let's do it over here since my hat isn't centered. Let's go ahead and put these leaves on. And again, my hat is super soft. I am going to score and slip the leaves, but not the hat. And I got this stupid fly. We're into fly season. It's getting cool enough to where flies are coming out. And of course, studios have all those nice musty smells, right? Actually, I kind of like, no, let's see, we need to do it more like that. I kind of like that the leaf is kind of coming off the hat. Yeah, these flies are really liking my witch. And then we'll stick her on. Jeez, these guys. And then I will carefully go around it with the wet paintbrush to get any goobers and so forth. I mean, you can go nuts on these. You could add a whole bunch more stuff if you wanted to. Actually, still not happy with the point of her hat. So hopefully I'm not out of the frame. Guess I will see when I play it back, but I bet I am. Actually, golly, these flies are driving me crazy. Just thinning that out some more and being really careful. All right, now let's try this. Kind of like the little crook. Yeah, there she is. All right, so I will probably spend more time cleaning her up off camera. But for now, here she is. I'm going to let her stiffen up a little bit so I can handle her a little more. But isn't she cute? She turned out cute. I really like that flower. All right, I am going to let her set up and then I will come back and clean her up some more. I don't want her to dry out too fast. I actually really like using the plastic bags from the grocery store on things like this. I mean, I can even tie this plastic down. So then I will set her on the shelf, let her stiffen up a little bit, and then, okay, so that's it. And sorry, I guess we sweated through that again. We actually have a lot of humidity today, and I got her all yucky. Anyway, here she is, or one, and she's got that kind of flower, and I did add an owl, so but yeah, she's super cute, pretty fun to make, pretty easy too. Since it's out of a coil, you don't have to worry about the coil cracking open and stuff like that. It's one solid piece, so it makes it a little easier that way. Anyway, I hope this is helpful and you can get something out of it. And again, check out the other witch. Maybe you can make a combination of the two of them and have a lot of fun with it. All right, go get muddy and we'll catch you in the next one.